learn are just using 3 notes. We start to expand our vocabulary of notes that we know. And after 3, we add them all the way up until we get the full 7 notes of the D major scale. Okay? And the D major scale is one of the most important things that we learn this year because this allows us to read tons of music and be able to play tons of different pieces of music. So we're going to play for you down the D major scale. All right, we're going to take you back in time a little bit to just a few months ago, to the winter, when we were working on this piece of music. It is called Jingle Bells. And I know it's May, but we're going to play this song because we want to. So here it is, Jingle Bells. Austrian composer Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was a child prodigy who first performed in concert at age 6. He lived during the time of the American Revolution, and Mozart's music is melodic and imaginative. He wrote hundreds of compositions, including a piano piece based on this familiar song. All right, so that's our pizzicato technique, which again is using the fingers to pluck the strings. So the next technique that we use is called arco, and this involves using our bow. Orchestra, can you hold your bows up and show everybody? I'm sure you've all seen it at home. They love sword fighting and all these things. But the bow has 2 main parts. It has the stick and the hair. The hair on the bow is actually made out of horsehair, and when you put rosin, which is almost like dried tree sap, on it, it sticks to the strings and allows it to make a sound. When we first started using the bow, I came up with this little warm-up, and the kids, we love playing it, but it's based on the opera Carmen. So if you're familiar with that opera, you kind of recognize it, but we're going to show you kind of our bow warm-up here. We're going to start. is that minor tonality that I was talking about before. This one is called Tribal Lament. I love that one. I don't know why, to me it feels like a TV score, a film score or something like that. That's what we've done playing it. So we're going to put together our left-hand technique and our right-hand technique. So what we've done with our left hand is learn all these notes up and down the scale. And what we've done with our right hand is learn the coordination with our bow and doing down bows and up bows. We're going to put all that together and display the D major scale in its entirety. Okay, so at this point we start working on some more complicated rhythms, and the next rhythm that we work on is called eighth notes. And when I first teach this, we count them as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. But that can be a little bit boring, and sometimes it's more fun to put words to the rhythms. So this one is called Pepperoni Pizza. And orchestra, can you guys just sing this one really quick, the Pepperoni Pizza? Just sing it. 1, 2, ready, go. And now, we're going to play it for you on our instruments. Okay, the next one we're going to play for you is perhaps one of the most standard of all pieces of music. I'm sure a lot of you have learned this one when you were in elementary school. You could probably guess it is Hot Cross Buns. So for the next part, we're going to feature a soloist on this, and being an IB school, one of the parts of being an IB student is being a risk taker, okay? So I had one student, Emil, who has been learning some songs outside of orchestra and wanted to be a risk taker and play one of these songs for you. Emil, which song are you going to be playing? Moving along here, the next one we have on our concert is Ode to Joy by German composer Ludwig van Beethoven, who was one of the world's greatest composers. He was completely deaf by the year 1802, and although he could not hear music like we do, he could hear it in his mind. The theme of his final symphony, Symphony Number 9, is called Ode to Joy, and was written to the text of a poem by Friedrich von Schiller. Ode to Joy was featured in concerts celebrating the reunification of Germany in 1990. So here is Ode to Joy. All right, we only have one more song for you. This last one is a very fun one for us to play. It is an American fiddle tune called Boil and Cabbage Now. Fiddle tunes have like a very rich history, especially in the Americas, and it's a huge part of playing one of these instruments. And so yeah, we're going to play this one for you. This one's pretty fun. If you want, you can clap along. But here's Boil and Cabbage Now. lives with music, choosing to have me part of this. Thank you to all the people that helped set up today. Thank you to Mr. Caldrell on the piano over there. And if you find yourself so inclined, we could use some help putting some chairs back, because there's a lot of them. So on your way out, if you wouldn't mind helping pull chairs, we've got some racks back there, it would be super helpful. Thank you all for coming. Have a great rest of your evening, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you, Mr. Collins.
All lined up, and I think I've come to the conclusion we have more members in our orchestra here than the San Diego Symphony has in theirs, I think. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce to you, this is 5B and 5C are going to come out to the stage. All right, next I'm going to introduce 5A out to the stage. Okay, so this year's been quite the journey. We started off, a lot of us in this group had never even read music before, played an instrument before, and we went all the way from learning how to even just sit and hold an instrument, all the way to being able to perform some songs. So I'm very proud of this group. We're kind of going to give you an idea of some of the things that we learned this year and just kind of give you a little show and tell. This will probably be a quick performance. But one of the things I want to talk about that we learned this year is a technique called pizzicato. And pizzicato is where our string players use their fingers to plug the instruments to play them. So the first half of the show is going to be songs that are using the pizzicato technique. And just a heads up, I will be standing here, so if one of your kiddos is, if I'm blocking them, you might want to, find a better spot to film in front. Sorry about that. The first piece we're going to play for you is called Morning Dance. So when we start learning to play these instruments, we start first with three notes, D, E, and Okay, so a lot of these early songs we learned are just using those 3 notes. The next song that we're going to play for you is probably the most famous song of all that uses just those 3 notes. It's called Rolling Along, or as you may know it, Mary Had a Little Lamb. And the next song we'll be playing for you is a Welsh folk song. It is called Good King Wenceslas. So a lot of these beginner songs are kind of happy sounding, they feature a major tonality, which is, a happy sounding thing. The next one we're going to play for you, it is in a minor tonality, okay? It's called Seminole Chant. This one is a little more fun. It's almost got kind of like a rock feel to it. It can sometimes, but we'll see what you think. This is Seminole Chant.